Money creates opportunities, opens doors, creates stability. It's okay to care about money. It's just because you're attracted to certain physical features, you prefer to date a man who has a good career, you don't say yes to everything, you're selective with the people that you let into your life, and you choose yourself first, does not mean you are shallow. We're talking about how these high standards are actually certain principles that help you lead your life. You stick to them because you're not willing to settle for less. Point number 1, looks matter. No matter where we meet someone, whether it be in a professional setting, out with your friends in a social setting, or on a date, we will always pay attention to other people's appearances. Honestly, our brains are just wired to look at other people's appearances and create our own judgments and biases on them. And I know it sounds shallow and wrong. They've always mattered, as long as at least our generations have been on this planet. I am a real strong believer in look good, feel good. That's it. You have the power to be attractive. And I genuinely believe that every human being can be attractive. It's a matter of how you choose to put yourself together and present yourself out into the world. You have control over how your hair looks, how your style looks. Are you put together? What's your posture like? Do you have a pleasant face? Are you personable? Are you charismatic? Do people approach you and feel comfortable around you? All of these traits are contributors to physical attractiveness. You don't have to have a six-pack. You don't need to be super toned and be fit and in shape. There's different forms of physical attractiveness. So the next time that someone says looks don't matter, just think about this. Next one. Money matters. See, this is one of the topics that was actually really hard for me to accept because all of my life, and I'll be honest, even up until this point, I've had some limiting beliefs around money. But now money matters to me because money creates opportunities, opens doors, creates stability. It's okay to care about money. It's okay to care about your social circles and their wealth. It's important to be surrounded by people who are ambitious or have worked hard to achieve wealth because that's going to put you on the path to achieve wealth also. Point number 3, being a picky dater. There are 2 words that matter so much in the dating world. Core values. Of course, you want someone to respect you and treat you well and be kind to you and the people that you love and to communicate their needs and to listen to your needs. Of course. But what if the person that you end up with or the person that you end up spending a lot of time with, you realize your core values are not aligned? Do you see my point? And a woman of high value is not going to settle for someone whose core values don't align with theirs. It's not about achieving perfection in a relationship. It's just about finding alignment. Overall, just embrace that you're a picky dater, and anyone that doesn't fit in your core values is not for you, and that is okay. But also just be open-minded and don't be cruel and unrealistic about setting standards that you can't even achieve on your own, right? Point number 4, be selective with who you let in. We live in a world where it is so difficult to make meaningful connections. People are glued to their screens and it's just difficult. And so you have to be selective with who you let in. Anytime that you're engaging with another human being, you're putting out energy. So you better be putting out energy to people who are worth it. Friendships, family members, relationships of all sorts, romantic, professional. It's so important that you are selective and that you conserve your energy and that you're just mindful. When I was living in Los Angeles, I got to know a lot of the social media influencers. And one thing that I noticed is that as we were all hanging out, it was an opportunity to network and to potentially build meaningful connections, but I noticed that there was a lot of attraction towards people who had more followers. It felt somewhat of a transactional relationship, which for me, it just felt icky and I didn't feel comfortable around that. I do feel like that's the world that we live in now. Why would you give your energy to people who don't deserve your time, who don't have genuine thought or consideration for you or your well-being? But of course, you have standards and you base your relationships off of real, authentic connections with people who you will have long-lasting relationships with, or even if they're not long-lasting, that there will be some value at the end of that relationship. Point number 5, prioritizing yourself is not shallow. This is a big one for me because it really encompasses everything that we just talked about in this video and more. A woman with high standards prioritizes her well-being, her physical health, her mental health. She makes time for her personal goals and her professional ambitions. And she also knows how to set boundaries and say no. Saying no means saying yes to things that actually matter in your life. Boundaries protect energy, time, and your overall mental well-being. It is perfectly okay to say no to people who don't value you and say yes to people who do value you, who uplift you, who cheer you on, who want you to be happy. You know your worth, so align yourself with people who also see it too. How I put myself first is that I prioritize exercising at least 3 to 4 times a week. I prioritize going to the dog park because it gives me just healing energy. I can be with animals. I don't have to talk to anyone, but I can still decide to socialize with the dog parents if I feel like it. I'm creating YouTube content and learning how to edit, learning how to write a script. All of this is personal development for me, and I could be out there giving my time and energy to something completely different, but that's not putting myself first because this is what makes me happy right now. Overall, putting yourself first means nurturing yourself. Okay, so we've made it to the end of the video, and I just want to say that having high standards is a lifelong journey. You are not selfish, you are not picky, and you are definitely not shallow for caring about all of the things we covered today and for choosing you before anything else. The beauty about life is that as we get older, we gain a deeper understanding about ourselves and about others, and we just become really introspective and we realize what really matters. And just know that you're not being shallow for sticking to your convictions and your values, as long as you're not being unkind to another human being or causing harm to anyone. So anyone who has ever judged you for having high standards, you might just want to forward them this video because I'm pretty sure that after they watch it, they're going to be like, I actually agree 100%. I hope this was helpful. These are points that have come up in my life, and I've had people make comments about just my belief systems, and also some of those points, like the money one, I've been working through internally to really embrace wealth and to gain wealth. So I like to share some of these thoughts. And that is a wrap for today. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out my video posting schedule. Originally, I was experimenting with 2 videos a week, and that only lasted for 2 weeks. And then I realized this is not sustainable because my personal and professional life is really chaotic right now. So I think I'm going to cut it down to a video a week and potentially maybe 2 videos a month. Regardless, I appreciate you for even tuning in. I'm still showing up and doing my part because this is so exciting to me. This is my creative outlet. I'm learning something new. I just feel like it's a part of my personal development era, and I don't know what's to come, but it feels good and I'm excited. And clearly I shot this video at maybe not the best time for lighting, so don't mind what happened behind the scenes over here. You can kind of see a snippet, but that's the life we live, and that's okay because we're still here right now. So catch you later. Wow, we did it. I'm so proud of myself.